Hey everybody, Breach is out. 21 Pilots have dropped this new album and have completed this story they've been telling for 10 years? I'm making this before the album comes out. So, editing Camden, how was it? Is it good?
How is it? Is it good? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. My favorite song right now is Raw Fear. But I'll tell you what, I think Tally is really good too. Oh, Tally's so good. Cottonwood's really good. The singles were great too. Drum Show, the Jokels, the Contract's fantastic. Oh man. Let me tell you. No! You can't do it. No.
Cool. 21 Pilots is my favorite band and has been since I was 11 years old. Like many others, I discovered them when they had their first round of success with the album Blurry Face, when both Stressed Out and Ride were played everywhere. I liked these songs just fine, but when my older brother Clayton showed me the songs Fairly Local and Migraine, I started to get invested. Over the course of the next 2 years, I deep dived 21 Pilots, learning all about Tyler Joseph and Josh Dun. I watched all their vines, heard every song, and listened to every album. I even had my own I Renew bracelet. Many people say they had their 21 Pilots phase in middle school or whatever, but I don't understand how anyone can just stop being so invested. I waited for the release of Trench like it was a breath of fresh air after being underwater for just a bit too long. I still remember the day Jumpsuit, Nico, and the Niners were released like it was yesterday. Trench could be argued to be the band's best album. It's consistently enjoyable from start to finish with amazing production to match. But in my opinion, hands down, the best 21 Pilots album is one that isn't on streaming. You can't find it on Spotify, you can't find it on Apple Music, but it's the first album that features the band as the duo they're the most famous as. It's the first album to feature some of your favorite 21 Pilots songs on it. Regional at best. But if this album is so amazing and monumentous for the band, then why can't you find it anywhere? Let's take a quick look at the formation of the band to first understand the timeline. In 2009, Tyler Joseph formed the band with two friends of his, Chris Sully and Nick Thomas. Before the formation of the band, Nick offered guitar on Tyler's first musical endeavor, No Fun Intended. This album was recorded and released in their senior year of high school and features many of the stylings he would later use in 21 Pilots. Some of the lyrics on this album were even repurposed in the published work. The song Drown's second verse begins with a line that fans will recognize as the second verse of the song Fall Away on the band's self-titled debut on December 29th, 2009. Once this album was released, the band started touring within their hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Throughout 2010, the band played through a lot of Battle of the Band competitions as well as many local venues. Chris and Tyler also became part of their church's local praise band team, and through this met Josh Dun. Josh quickly became more than just friends to them, but to the band as a whole. So when Chris and Nick decided they wanted to leave the band for personal reasons, Josh Dun was named the new drummer of 21 Pilots. Only about a month after the roster change, on July 8th, 2011, the now duo dropped the album we're here to talk about today, Regional at Best. To coincide with the release of the album, the band put out a web series aptly named Regional at Best, the web series, that helps give insight into this transition and the struggle that came with it.
This all basically means is 21 Pilots is going to be a two-piece band, and we're going to rely pretty heavily on technology and energy.
I highly recommend watching this series. Each episode is only roughly 5 minutes, and it is such a treat. To promote the release of the new album, they also put on a local show at New Albany High School with many rented lights and sound systems. Tyler also noted that many people volunteered to help with the event. They sold the first copies of Regional at Best CDs at this show, where they debuted the song Guns for Hands as the opener to the show. After the launch of this album, the band went on tour starting in Chicago. According to Setlist.fm, this tour consisted of 32 shows across 8 states, with the majority of them taking place in Ohio. The show that would change the trajectory of the band happened in November of 2011 on this tour, where they would play a sold-out show in Newport Music Hall, which caught the attention of many record labels. From this show, the duo would get signed to Fueled by Ramen and begin work on their first published album, later known as Vessel. I promise we're still talking about Regional at Best, but Vessel is very integral to the legacy of this album. A handful of songs from Regional at Best were re-recorded and repurposed for Vessel, including Ode to Sleep, Holding On to You, Guns for Hands, House of Gold, Car Radio, and Trees. After Vessel came out with these new renditions on it, the album ultimately got discarded. From this point moving forward, it became unavailable on streaming services. CDs were no longer in print, and live performances of songs that weren't featured on Vessel became less and less frequent. From this point moving forward, Regional Best did not exist. Tyler doesn't seem to like talking about this album.
Jay from Weatherford, Texas. Why has Regional at Best never been out on Spotify? Thank you very much.
However, we were fortunate enough to finally get an answer during the Vessel 10th anniversary live stream as to why this album isn't anywhere on streaming.
Next segment is called Story Time, and we're going to talk about Regional Best. So basically, wow. I don't know, Mark, if you have that overlay that we can throw.
Yeah, I got you.
I think it's always been a weird conversation talking about the album Regional Best. So to give you guys some context, the first record that Josh and I released was independently, and it was the self-titled record. And when I say independently, record 14 songs in your home studio, and then you just go, this is it. So I guess let's pay some company to print, the CDs and have them ready for, people to buy at shows. That was pretty much what that meant, to release something independently. And then we recorded more songs, and we had a few more, and then we decided to release Regional Best. Well, right around that time that we got signed was the time that we kind of released Regional Best. So when we got signed to Fueled by Ramen,
which also, sorry to interrupt you, but the whole point of putting out one of those records was so that we would have music to play live. So
right.
It's, at that time we were kind of like, let's just put something together. That way we can go just play shows. And so it wasn't like a professionally recorded record, but it was really just material.
Something for people to buy to get enough gas money to get to the next show.
Yeah, exactly.
And so right around the time that we got signed was the time that we kind of had already released Regional Best. But then the time between when we released Regional Best and when we were ready to kind of officially release our first professionally done major label record, we had written more songs since then. That's why songs like, Semi-Automatic and Fake You Out and Truce and House of Gold aren't on the Regional Best, the old record that technically doesn't exist. So what happens was our label said, hey, do you want to release Regional Best as is? And maybe we can remaster it or something. No, we have new songs. We want to record a new record, but we'll pull some songs from Regional Best and have that be a part of Vessel. So technically, Regional Best doesn't exist because it falls in that kind of purgatory of right as we were releasing music independently and right when we got signed and we were able to release and record music professionally with a label. I don't know if that explains why Regional Best is this weird,
As a fan, this is hard to hear. Though I'm sure as up-and-coming musicians who were basically living out of a van, that is probably how they felt about the matter. But when you listen to songs like Clear or Ruby, and you hear how much thought and effort and really heart and soul went into these songs, it's hard to believe they were just made for gas money. Heck, we made it this far into the video and we haven't even mentioned the track list yet. I will say though, before we get into that I've been made fun of enough by the music snobs over at Jimmy Wallace Records to feel as though I need to give you a heads up that I'm not a music critic or anything of the nature, and I'm not super great at describing music, or so I'm told, so take that with a grain of salt. The album begins with the aforementioned Guns for Hands, followed by Holding On to You, Ode to Sleep, Slow Town, Car Radio, Forest, Glowing Eyes, Kitchen Sink, Anathema, Lovely, Ruby, Trees, Be Concerned, and Clear. Later in the year, the band released the album in a newsletter to fans that included 2 bonus tracks, House of Gold and 2. This is the only 21 Pilots album that has a featured artist on it, with the song Be Concerned featuring another Ohio local artist named Joseph. Though he's not featured, Tyler's brother Zach also appears in the album, having a verse in the song Kitchen Sink. We'll break down a couple of these individually, but let's start with Kitchen Sink. Kitchen Sink is a song about finding purpose. Many 21 Pilots songs have meanings that are up for interpretation and remain almost vague, but Kitchen Sink is very clear in its intentions, featuring lines such as, this is going to sound kind of weird just talking it out. I don't want to use the clip for copyright. Here we go. Are you searching for a purpose? Then write something. Yeah, it might be worthless. Then paint something, and it might be wordless. Finding something to devote yourself to and find meaning in what could otherwise be a very lonely and lost existence. It's so easy to get caught up in the monotony of day-to-day life, just trying to survive without really living. It's even easier to get caught up in your own head and make the situation so much worse for yourself, finding yourself in a self-destructive cycle. Tyler finishes the verse with the line, "No one else is dealing with your demons," meaning maybe defeating them could be the beginning of your meaning, friend. No one knows what the kitchen sink is. He's been asked many, many times what the meaning of it is, to which he typically gives the same answer.
It's like, well, how can I create purpose for myself? Because I feel like if I had purpose, I'd be able to conquer these two things. And I found through art that you can create the beginning of purpose for you. Not all of purpose, because that's just such a huge thing. But the beginning of purpose can be found by creating something that only you understand. For example, in your darkest hour, when you're trying to figure out whether or not it's worth it to stay alive or just to give up, if you have something that you've created and you know that you're the only person on this earth that can explain that thing, then that can be the thing that you hold on to, and that can be the thing that can help you get through that moment of your darkest hour, I like to call it. So for me, something happened to me at a kitchen sink that was it was awesome, it was good, it was emotional, it was great. But the point is, I used that moment to help me get through my tough times, because the point is, I'm not going to tell you what happened at that kitchen sink. A kitchen sink to you is not a kitchen sink to me, because I like to use that moment as, you know what, if I explain what exactly happened here, then everyone knows, and then it kind of loses its ability to help me justify staying around. So you don't know what a kitchen sink is to me, but it has to do with purpose, and it helps me.
Another song on the album I'd like to note is Ruby. This song is so beautiful. The instrumentation is so ethereal. The heavy emphasis on the drums mixed with the synths create this almost atmospheric sound that is very easy to get absorbed into. The song also has a more obscure meaning, like I mentioned prior. As a kid, when I listened to this song, I could tell it was about the admiration for someone. That much is clear. Some of the imagery in the song paints the idea of a heavenly creature sent down from above with whom he's infatuated. However, in footage from the CD release show, Tyler debuts the song and announces that it was written about and for a little girl from the church that both bandmates attended.
The song is called Ruby. It's about a girl who goes to my church, Josh and I's church. She's just a little girl. She's got Down syndrome, so she inspired me. This song is called Ruby, named after her. Her parents are in the house tonight, so give them a round of applause. Let's make this awesome for them, huh?
Something for people to buy to get enough gas money to get to the next show.
Yeah.
One more song I'd like to talk about individually is Forest. This is my favorite song ever, and it has been since the 7th grade. I may be a bit biased here, but I'm going to try and keep it down the middle. This song is, of course, not perfect, especially with lyrics like, "I scream, you scream, we all scream because we're terrified." But this song captures an innocence and the loss of it in many ways that others can't. From the beginning, the light percussion mixed with this infectious piano melody that Tyler is so gifted at manufacturing comes together to hook you. There is something within the layering that almost gives an earthy sound to it, almost like crunching sticks in a forest. When the full production kicks in, it's calming. There's something about this song that's so inviting as it leads you to its first verse. This first verse features a line that has always meant a lot to me, being, "I don't want to be heard, I want to be listened to." The chorus of the song is so simple and yet so effective. Down in the forest, we'll sing a chorus, one that everybody knows. Hands held higher, we'll be on fire, singing songs that nobody wrote. But where the song really shines is in its bridge, a rap that delivers the overarching idea of this song. Growing up and losing the sense of innocence established early in the song. The fear that age makes you lose the hope and wonder that exists freely as a child. Though the entire bridge builds to this idea, the line that encapsulates it the best comes toward the end. Something happened to my imagination. The situation's becoming dire, my treehouse is on fire, and for some reason I smell gas on my hands. Truthfully, I could keep gushing about this song all the live long day, so I'll pivot. While researching this video, I found this video. Hey, it's editing Camden again. I had a clip here from this video. but I can't show it due to copyright. I'm going to talk about it here in a second, so you don't really have to watch it, but for context, I recommend that you watch it, and it's cool. You should just go check it out. I had two reactions when I saw this video. First, I watched it and I thought to myself, this is really cool. An early rendition of my favorite song done in almost this slam poetry style by my favorite artist. It was amazing. And I watched a couple more times. And when you break it down, this video is just a guy walking down the street at night, just saying the words to a song that I know. And that's weird, but it's so genuine. Tyler has always been so dedicated to his art and just being so authentic. It's reminiscent of something he said during the first episode of the web series. Let's take another look at the clip where Tyler found out the band would be a two-piece moving forward.
And we're going to rely pretty heavily on technology and energy on stage to cover up the fact that we're only two people. But I think we can do it. It's just a lot of work. I just wonder if we can put on enough of a show with two people.
There's an uncertainty about whether or not the band will work, but he keeps pushing and compensates for their lack of people in an amazing live show. Later in the series, there's a section building up to the CD premiere. The forecast calls for rain, and it's really bumming Tyler out.
The weather doesn't look very good. This is crunch time right now. There's a lot of vendors and policemen and sound rental and volunteers, and not to mention everyone who knows that it's tonight. Just a lot of people that we're gonna have to tell if we have to cancel. Put a lot of work into this show. A lot of work.
There is so much time and effort being put into this show, and the likelihood of it happening seems to keep getting slimmer, but he keeps going. Later in episode 5, during the Guns for Hands music video, you can see that it does in fact rain, but they keep performing, and the crowd doesn't go anywhere. I've always had such a deep love and appreciation for this album, but I think it's taken researching this video to be able to put into words why. This album doesn't follow the Dima storyline, or any overarching story like many of the ones after this do. It doesn't have a single overarching theme like Self-Titled does. It's regional at best. It's exactly that. It's a culmination of dreams and hard work and consistency at a level where that's what it was at the time. You look at the shows that he put on and everyone would come out to them. It was local. And I think while the songs on the album itself don't necessarily reflect it, Regional at Best does have a theme, and it's perseverance. I was lucky enough to see these guys live for the first time last year with my good buddy Malcolm.
Hi guys, what's up?
And more so, I was fortunate enough to be at a show where they did play songs from Regional at Best, specifically Slow Town and Forest. While it was absolutely amazing to hear these songs live in front of a sold-out arena, this moment wouldn't have happened if it weren't for this.
This next song is called Forest.
The title is almost ironic, being Regional at Best. A standard set that they were content with just making music and playing it for the community. When only a few months later, the band would explode into their first wave of popularity. Everyone will doubt you. The same kid who thought he wouldn't be able to make his band work with just two people has now won so many awards and is selling out venues all over the world. So push on through, and power to the local dreamer. Hi everybody, now it's time for the unscripted outro. I like 21 Pilots a lot, and I have for a really long time. I'm actually going to see them again in I think like 2 weeks. And I'm very excited. 21 Pilots have kind of meant a lot to me, and I kind of put my heart on my sleeve for a little bit for this video. So I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope Breach is really good. I'm recording this the day before the album comes out, and I'm beyond ecstatic, but also, you know, cautiously optimistic, because it's also the end of the Dima storyline that I've been listening to for 10 years. So it's very bittersweet. Having said that, you know, I appreciate you getting this far in the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell notification button so you get notified every time there's a new upload here on Comeback Kid Films. But in the meantime, I will see you next time. Bye.